Imagine, if you will, the soft lapping of waves against a shore not crafted from mere sand, but from shimmering strands of living memories. Each iridescent ripple, a delicate murmur of the past, a tender echo woven into the vast ocean of emotion that invites the brave to listen with their hearts. Beneath the vast, trembling expanse of Thalara's ocean, a hidden realm awakens, cradled silently within the embrace of sacred stillness, a sanctuary sculpted from the very currents of emotion and cascading light. This place breathes with a slow pulsing rhythm, a heartbeat humming centuries of untold stories, each pulse casting vibrant glimmers that quiver beneath the surface. At its innermost core glows the triple twisted spiral, a radiant sigil pulsing with ethereal luminescence beckoning the innocent spirits of a forgotten legacy to draw near. It undulates softly in the currents, a dance of starlight weaving through liquid water, evoking the quiet joy of ancient resonance. In the dreams of the young, this spiral unfurls like a silver ribbon of light, a beacon of pure energy that threads together the luminous tapestries of buried feelings and ancestral wisdom. The children, unbound from the weight of time and gravity, roam unfettered through their vivid realms, their laughter echoing faintly like ripples etched deep within the emotional fabric that forms their community. As they drift into sleep, a delicate translucent veil of dreams thickens, enfolding them in an enchanted world where hardship dissolves into shimmering light and wonder ripens like a coral bloom. Yet within this fragile weave, a shadow pulses softly, an unseen child known only through the fragile glow of their art, who painted this very spiral before vanishing into the unseen currents, leaving no trace within the memory orbs. Their absence hangs heavy, a haunting silence, suspended like dew-glistened tendrils. At dawn, an unfinished symphony, a light that slipped from the constellation of youthful hearts. What became of this radiant soul whose passion painted the spiral in vibrant waves only to fade into the depths of forgotten resonance? Have they dissolved into the spiral itself, transfigured into a luminous essence forever gliding as a spectral spirit over the endless dreamscape of ocean light? Or do they hover as an incomplete memory, a lingering chord in a song now silenced, a fragile reminder of the delicate threads that tether the past to the present? Listen closely, dear dreamer, to the water's gentle embrace and the subtle tug of ancient emotion weaving through your veins. In this beckoning mystery rests a profound truth, the spiral's murmur that memory is not merely a chain anchoring us to yesterday, but a shimmering bridge, a melody coursing through the silence that leads us home, a whispered entreaty that within the dreams of children the deepest truths await soft and yearning for hearts brave enough to feel their luminous call. In the world of Thalara, where memory and reality dissolve like mist upon the triple spiral's edges, the very atmosphere vibrates with a dense yet translucent essence. This submerged realm, cradled beneath the ocean's murmuring surface, pulses with emotions rendered as living ribbons of luminous color currents that weave through the water's sculpted architecture like silent waves of feeling. Imagine the shimmering iridescent formations shifting softly, blooming like titanic aquatic flowers, whose petals alive with the heartfelt echoes of generations past, quiver in fluid grace. Sound here is a hushed shadow. Communication flows through resonant light, an exquisite ballet of shifting hues, reflecting inner tides and secret longings. The architecture itself breathes a living web of softly pulsating corridors, attuned to the heartbeats and emotions of each visitor. As figures move beneath this glimmering canopy, their skin catches the flickering phosphorescent glow, casting delicate trembling shadows that illuminate faces with a strange sacred radiance. Within this luminous sanctuary, the children of Thalara unfold like fragile sea anemones, their spirits stretching ever outward to embrace the resonant waters that cradle them. Innocence reigns here, not as naive escape, but as a pure current of imagination flowing unbridled among the whispered dreams of ancestors. Each night, as the ocean's dusk descends like a veil of deep blue silence, these children surrender to sleep and are drawn into dreams woven from light rather than ink. Spirits crossing into gardens of thought, where the very air hums with buried memories, each a vivid brushstroke on the vast unfinished canvas of their shared lineage. Yet beneath this vibrant tapestry lies an undercurrent of solemn gravity, a tension that thrums in the water. Like an approaching tempest remnant, the adults entwined in life's relentless currents often forget this delicate resonance. Their hearts grow heavy and dulled by the slow erosion of years and weighty duties. Their spirits' once blazing colors fade to haunting twilight hues, shadows marking the ache of lost wonder and fading light. But from this melancholy, the orphans of Thalara emerge, living vessels where sorrow and radiance blend seamlessly. Unburdened by the anchors that pull their elders down, these children become the pure guardians of the triple spiral legacy. Each embodies a beacon of vivid recollection, preserving the spiral's luminous essence in its untouched brilliance. Their dreams shimmer with untainted hope and joy, an echo of true feeling, unshackled by the fetters of fear. And quietly, the enigma of the child who painted the spiral unfolds in soft whispers. A forgotten artist whose luminous creation touched the very soul of Thalara, now vanished into the depths of memory currents. Whispers ponder the fate of this radiant figure, their legacy woven into the living light as delicate threads in the eternal tapestry. Why did they disappear, leaving only shimmering echoes drifting like light sand on the tide? The question lingers, wrapped in glimmers of emotion and pulses of unspoken yearning. In this underwater haven, existence balances on the cusp of memory's dance. Fragile, intricate, and fiercely alive, every ripple sings a story. Every subtle shift in luminance reminds all who pass that life, love, and remembrance weave the very fabric of their being. The ocean remembers, joy, sorrow, dream light, weaving through the currents like sunlight caught in a restless wave. But what of those memories lost in unseen eddies? What becomes of emotions dissolved into light mist, swirling away like invisible dust, borne on a spectral breeze? The living waters throb with a quiet anticipation, urging passers-by to feel the stories nestled beneath layers of shifting radiant light. As day fades into the deep hush of night, nostalgia and mystery fill the ambient resonance, thick and intoxicating. The triple spiral glows, a sacred beacon, calling its children to open their hearts, to listen with the pulse of their own breath, to feel the rhythm hidden beneath silence. So in the heart of Thalara, a yearning takes root in the children's souls, a luminous thirst to reclaim the forgotten, to embrace the fragile beauty stitched into every thread of their beloved spiral. Their dreams are journeys, not flights from this world, but searches to awaken the intertwined light, memory, and resonance that endure beneath the waves, inviting all to dive into the depths where emotion flows eternal and light is the language of the soul. In this sanctuary, woven from shifting currents of liquid light and pulsing emotions beneath the ocean's eternal embrace, the gentle ebb and flow of dream waves cradles a question that stirs the deepest resonance. What does it mean to remember, to be remembered? This question moves through the translucent waters like a trembling spiral of light. An ancient melody carved by the reverberations of countless emotions and the breath of time itself. Around them, the triple spiral symbol flickers softly, a living sigil of memory's true form, emotion, intertwined with light, wrapped in whispered resonance. For the children, ethereal as the resonant light fish that dart through their crystalline water-formed refuge, memory is no mere shadow of events past. It is a luminous tapestry, a radiant web spun from the threads of lived moments, each glistening with the weight of felt emotion. The living water pulses gently beneath their fingertips, its shifting surface humming with the heartbeat of their ancestors, guiding, embracing, shaping the very essence of their dreams. In their innocence, they dwell in a realm where the breath of memory stirs freely. Each act of recall as natural and vital as the warmth of light, filtering softly through the waves' embrace. Yet as they drift on the soft cadence of slumber, this pure understanding entwines with darker echoes, the vanished child, the painter whose light faded from the spiral lingers like a shadow at the edge of their collective resonance. Across generations, hearts thrum with this haunting question, piercing the serene surfaces with a sharp, insistent tremor. How does one hold the brilliance of memory without succumbing to the terror of forgetting? The tender longing to cradle every flickering moment tight is pulled downward by the silent current of impermanence, that fragile spiral that may unravel into the fathomless depths. Within this delicate balance rests the profound loss. Can one truly shine within the hearts of others if they have not been touched with enough fervent emotion? Through the whispering currents, the children begin to discern the hidden truth that each thread of memory bears its own emotional gravity, binding their spirits into a living community of light and feeling. The sacred spiral, while a celebration of their intertwined histories, also shimmers as a somber emblem, an ever-present reminder of what slips silently, irretrievably beyond reach. Gathered beneath the twilight glow of their dream-forged refuge, Solon stands with his heart aflame, the mysteries he has unveiled, casting luminous ripples through the circle of orphans. Their faces glow faintly shadows, and light weaving through their questions, each expression quivering with the synthesis of curiosity and dawning resolve. What if memories carry more than a fleeting essence? He whispers a soft pulse that echoes tenderly through their shared space. Doubt, mingling with spark uncertainty, igniting a fragile courage. The children lean closer, their shimmering outlines merging like threads of living light. Curiosity piercing the veil of silent understanding. What if we are meant to unlock the treasure buried deep within one another's emotions? Solon breathes to feel so deeply that these memories refuse to fade but bloom and unfold anew. His words linger, suspended, a lantern flickering into life within their hearts, illuminating hidden corridors of possibility through shadows woven with fear. Every shard of memory reaching timidly toward the light becomes a chance for a rediscovery, a reminder that their stories are threaded into the endless spiral of time, weaving the children of today with those who blazed before. Yet above this fragile hope looms a darker cloud, a question that weighs heavier still. What of those who forget, or worse, those who have never known the warmth of being remembered? Within the quiet chorus of reflection, a vision of a painted spiral flickers within Solon's mind. Vibrant, alive, a river of color, threaded with whispered histories and tinkling resonance. He can almost feel the energy quivering in the brushstrokes, each color, a pulse pocketed with emotion singing through the fibers of time. If we are to draw this lost child back into our circle of light, he urges passion, flaring like a radiant blast. We must grasp their fading spirit with the totality of our being. His incandescent ardor fans flickering hope in the eyes of his friends, a radiant beacon swelling amidst twilight's quiet depth. Together, their voices weave into a delicate tapestry of determination, hearts beating in harmonic rhythm, embracing the belief that through shared memories lies the power to restore what has slipped beneath the waves. We must stir the dream currents and awaken the echoes residing within us. Solon exhales with fervor, his conviction sparking fires in the cool ocean darkness. Every story matters, every feeling counts. Murmurs and gasps, flowing like living streams, ripple amongst them, spirits weaving closer, the miracle of unity rising like a swirling light, a resonant spiral alive with possibility. Their hands seek one another's warmth, tangible sparks of connection, igniting shared courage. As they feel the fragile thread pulling the lost child back from the depths of memory's shadow, together they embark upon this fragile journey, echoing the question beating deep within their hearts like a sacred drum. Can they reclaim not only the essence of the vanished painter, but also rekindle the ancient embers of memory reverberating through endless time? As resolve crystallizes within each child, the call of the deep awakens, a promise of boundless waters and secrets waiting to flow free in tidal currents of emotion, truth, and revelation. They have glimpsed a piercing light slicing through the dark veil of forgetfulness, and Solon's heart pulses with trembling clarity. By seeking the lost consciousness, they might also unveil their own truths, bending the dance of light, reshaping destiny, dissolving shadows that soften memory's fragile spiral. With their hearts entwined like a constellation, woven from shimmering triple spirals of hope and dreamlight, the children of Thalara surrendered to the fluid depths of their shared resolve. They plunged wholly into the undulating pulse of their emotional ocean, determined to thread the spiraling, intangible echoes of the lost child. Their journey unfolded in the silken breath of twilight, an eternal moment where luminescent expanses stretched before them in soft hues of soul-deep blues and shifting sea greens. Above an ethereal mist hovered a diaphanous veil, shimmering with the fragile sparkle of forgotten memories, suspended and yearning to be reclaimed into the warm current. Soul and his spirit aflame with crystalline purpose became their beacon, guiding them through vibrant corridors sculpted from living liquid light. Every translucent wall quivered gently alive with a heartbeat of emotion surfacing and blending. An oceanic symphony felt through the skin of their beings. The children moved as one seamless constellation, tethered not by touch, but by the luminous thread of shared intention weaving through their spirits, threading in and out of living structures, resonating with the lingering essences of ancestors who had whispered through this realm long before. What if we find the path to the essence of this child? Solon's thought rose like gentle bubbles of luminescence drifting around them. His wonder, barely more than a breath in a resonance-filled silence. What if we can hear their heart again? Each heartbeat pulsed softly in the walls surrounding them, an answering echo of light and emotion beckoning deeper, inviting them further into the grand tapestry of memory. Deeper they ventured still, until the world folded open to reveal the sacred inverted lotus bloom, a sanctuary where raw emotion blossomed like delicate petals, bathing in soft, radiant glow. The bloom breathed and pulsed, transmitting ancient stories through language of light, each radiant petal a whisper of ages past. In this hallowed chamber, the children gathered, fingertips grazing the bloom's pulsating surface, feeling the magnetic spiral of resonance unwind and spiral beneath their touch. The air thickened with shimmering motes of iridescent memory dust, conjured into ephemeral visions of moments long forgotten, drifting like dream fragments caught in a gentle current. Can we remember together? Solon's voice was a ghost of a sigh, a gentle ripple barely stirring the stillness as he gazed deep into the light-laden abyss. The others nodded with solemn reverence, determination, and nascent hope aglow upon their faces. One by one, they shared their dreams, a river of voices weaving, intertwining like luminescent streams, converging, crafting a symphony of whispered light, pulsing through the silence. Each child breathed into the moment streams of memories, laughter carried on cool ocean currents. The soft, intimate caress of waves brushing tactile skin, and the echoing embrace of ancestral spirits woven through their dreams like lucid threads of comfort. With every tale shared, the inverted lotus responded, petals unfurling and blossoming wider, absorbing the raw swell of emotions, weaving them into a luminous lullaby of light and feeling that drifted tenderly around their clustered forms. But beneath the joyful dance of memory and light lurked a quiet shadow, an aching awareness of the lost child, whose vibrant pulse had once graced the currents, flowing between them. Solon hesitated, a dim shadow threading through his thoughts like the first ripple before a storm. What of the child who painted the spiral? What if we uncover their essence and it no longer exists? His words fractured the gentle air which thickened with the weight of quiet tension. The soft melody of the inverted lotus shifted subtly, turning solemn and aching. Its radiance carrying the weight of unanswered questions, weaving a delicate veil of tender sorrow and seeded fear amid the blooming hope. Yet Solon refused the chill of despair. Instead, a flicker of fierce conviction sparked alive within his core. We must dive deeper. We cannot let fear eclipse the flame of reclaiming this spirit. He declared, the warmth in his grip echoing through their joined hands. The children, embraced by determination, solid as fossilized emotion, nodded resolute beneath the heavy tides of uncertainty. United, they turned toward the shimmering depths, guided by the woven resonance of dream signals pulsing ahead like radiant fingers of light, piercing the fathomless ocean darkness. They followed the winding pathways of luminescent coral, each coral sculpted by living emotion, its vibrant hues throbbing like hearts, synchronized in shared pulse, and into vast sea caverns sparkling with fluid light, where creatures of pure resonance danced with flickering emotion. Their trails of incandescent memory drifted fluid and translucent behind, like ribbons of history, trailing in slow motion. Here they met the vibration insects, tiny, delicate, luminous beings whose ethereal hums filled the air with trembling notes that stirred dormant recollections. Each vibrato revealed glimpses, fleeting laughter, joy whispered through rippling currents, such as underwater piano keys caressed softly in a silent symphony. Share your light. Solon's voice shimmered with urgent clarity, a sudden crescendo in the invisible song. Enraptured by swirling emotions crescendo, the children surrendered fully, their beings resonating with vibration and joyful laughter flowing forth, embodying the radiant essence of their communal heart. With every sparkling thread of connection, the resonance twisted and bent, spiraling ever outward, yet pulling them inexorably close to the lost essence. Solon's glance locked with friend souls, their spirits pulsating in perfect unison, like a constellation caught aflame by fresh purpose. With steadfast hearts, they pressed forward until an extraordinary vision unfolded, the memory coral pulsating with vibrant hues like living hearts beating in harmonic rhythm, each beaten flash capturing fragmented flickers of the past as though painted into living murals beneath the waves. Look, one child gasped, eyes wide pools of shimmering light. It's as if every memory is trapped inside, waiting for us to awaken to set it free. Solon approached, resting his palm against the coral's vibrating surface, feeling a surge of energy rush, a tide of hidden narratives swirling beneath. Each story a dream, a whispered thread of the child who had painted the spiral deeper. He descended within the tides of feeling, the emotional currents shifting like layered ocean floors, undulating beneath the abyss. Perhaps here was the key to draw out the essence of the lost child and revive their memory in luminous truth. We must sing to it, a child urged, and soft hums began, an incantation forged from love and longing, weaving through their joined voices in gentle harmony. the coral responded lavishly, petals gleaming radiantly as if awakening from deep slumber, yearning to connect, each note echoing back their fragile hopes and quiet fears. Through rising notes, slipping back into the depths, they sensed a tender resonance, blossoming, transcending the gulf between lost and found, weaving threads of remembered light. The cavern walls shimmered with dancing light, refracting kaleidoscopic hues into every corner, colors spilling freely like bursting drops of sunlight breaking through the dark ocean surface. In this sacred breath, they united as one, hearts trembling with the fragile promise of unveiling the echo within the coral. Their bond glowed luminous as the memories aching to be remembered. Together, they persisted, bridging echoes and fears into a yearning transformed, no longer adrift, but vibrant with transcendent light and love pulsing rhythmic as the triple spiral of memory itself. And as they dared to believe the light of the painter, fragile and bright, began its first flickering dance once more within their united hearts. In that incandescent moment, as they pooled their emotions around the memory coral, everything shifted with the quiet grace of the ocean's calm surface before a storm, shimmering with an inner light as fragile and alive as a heartbeat. A vibrant cascade of bioluminescent hues erupted from the coral, spiraling and weaving in luminous harmonies that wrapped and danced within their very beings. The surrounding water pulsed softly, humming with an electric charge of anticipation, an unspoken symphony of memories, threading themselves into an intricate tapestry made of light and feeling. Somewhere deep within, beneath the shimmering currents, they sensed it, the elusive presence of the lost child. Solon's heart throbbed in his chest like the resonant drumbeat of a hopeful, trembling light as the living walls around them shimmered with countless stories, yearning to breathe free. "Can you feel it?" he whispered, his voice barely a ripple across the silent sea of glowing emotion. The others nodded, their eyes widening in quiet awe, sensing how the coral's light flickered in perfect harmony with their heartbeats. It was as if they were no longer separate souls, but fractured echoes of one ancient spirit reaching out through the threads of memory to rejoin itself. Each note of the light's lullaby resonated with a melody familiar like forgotten. The laughter spun from childhood, the warmth of shared joy, echoing softly through the water like a tender hypnotic hymn. "You are remembered." Solon breathed into the shimmering depths, a surge of joy and desperation flooding into his core. Then, as if the universe itself held its breath in reverent silence, a light more radiant than all their dreams gathered at the heart of the glowing coral. Slowly, a form began to coalesce, phasing in and out like a ripple of pure memory, an ethereal figure woven from strands of light and long-buried recollections. Was this the painter, the guardian of the spiral itself? The water thickened with emotion, threads of living light extending from the apparition to entwine with those of the children, enveloping them in a cocoon of warmth and comfort. Through shimmering translucence, Solon glimpsed a smile blooming softly on the radiant visage, a reflection of the collective creation they had all nurtured. His hands trembled as they reached out to touch this apparition, feeling the electric shock of living memories flooding back through his veins. Every microsecond stretched into eternity, a tender return to all the moments that stitched their stories into an eternal embrace, a seamless tapestry woven into the very fabric of existence. The child spoke without voice, communicating through the shimmering resonance of pure emotion, their heartstrings tangling with Solon's own in a silent song. I am here, and I have never truly vanished. I reside within every pulse of memory, in every tender touch. I am alive in the emotion you carry. I exist wherever your heart chooses to remember. The revelation shivered along Solon's spine like a cascade of light, awakening him to the unbreakable truth that light, memory, and emotion are forever intertwined, a bond that no shadow could ever extinguish. Around them, the spirals of glowing light began to merge and shift, melding seamlessly with the children's shared warmth as their voices rose in a silent hymn of triumph, united against the shadows that once sought to consume their spirits. This is not just about one child. A voice hummed gently from within their midst, a liberated cry pulsing through the luminous water, a defiant chord of life resisting the currents of forgetfulness. Their strength swelled and rose like a crescendo of resonant heartbeats, vibrating in unison as they stepped forward together, their very pulses intertwining with the shimmering light around them. The lost child transformed at last into a radiant beam that wrapped them all in a sacred bond, bathing their souls in the eternal knowledge of what truly mattered. At that luminous moment, they understood true immortality is not in being remembered by all, but in existing vibrantly within the hearts of those who choose to feel, to touch, and to remember. Relief washed over Solon like the gentle tide's embrace, a buoyant lift toward the surface of joy as bubbles of laughter, a living music of light and air broke free and danced into the surrounded depths. This moment, forever etched into spiral tendrils of light and emotion, reunited not only the child who had woven the spiral, but joined a chorus of souls in the eternal dance of memory, where all hearts echo together, shimmering bright with the visceral truth of existence. As the transformative light, a trembling symphony of triple spiral hues enveloped them, an ethereal stillness descended upon the gathering of children, their hearts intertwined in an iridescent weave, a livis embrace spun from shared memories and luminescent emotions. Solon felt the tender gravity of the lost child's essence anchoring him, the pulse of their silent resonance thundering deep within his core, as if the ocean itself breathed their union. Around them, the living waters shimmered, refracting brilliant cascades of radiant color, an intricate tapestry woven from the delicate threads of collective joy and sorrow, each emotion a delicate stitch in the ever-shifting sea of remembrance. In this fragile cocoon of light, whispers of the past shimmered like haunting lullabies, soft echoes floating on the currents, carrying stories of those who once danced in these depths, reminding them that their legacy was etched not in stone, but in the living pulse of memory and emotion. Yet, even amid this joyous radiance, an elusive question lingered, a spectral ripple. Suspended in the silence, its presence felt like a gentle flutter beneath the water's surface, waiting for a brave soul to catch its trembling light. What now? Solon breathed an echo, more of heart than voice, as his gaze drifted through the oscillating light currents, seeking answers in the reflections that flickered like memory orbs. Each child's face glimmered with newfound understanding, illuminated softly by the resonance of shared knowing. They grasped that this moment transcended the simple recall of singular memory. It was a living testament to the power of connection, an unspoken vow that even the faintest flicker of light could guide them home, their heartbeats synced, a rhythm steadying them against the vast ocean of time, grounding them in the deep truth that they were never alone. The ripples of their emotions stretched far beyond this moment, radiating through layers of time, calling out to others who might someday dance within the tender glow of remembrance. Would their parents hear this call? Would the adults of Thalara awaken, stirring from their long somnolence? In that weightless stillness, they understood their sacred role. They were the keepers of the spiral, the guardians of memory's eternal flame, destined to carry this illumination into the light-bathed world beyond the waves, a purpose inscribed upon the very fibers of their souls. With a surge of quiet determination, Solon and his companions clasped hands, the space between them pulsing with radiant energy, alive with their emotions. A heartbeat of liquid light that echoed through the throbbing ocean. Together, they stood as one, a constellation of young souls, ready to rise from the depths, prepared to embrace the flowing current of life. Above, with open, luminous hearts. As they drifted upward, the ocean itself cradled them, a gentle shimmering cradle, shimmering with hope's tender hues, a promise of rebirth and the rekindling of distant memories that had waited patiently within the folds of the sea. And as the dawn's soft light spilled through the waves, a light kissed by the dreams of ancestors and bathed in the sacred glow of the triple spiral, they knew with unshakable certainty that their legacy would ripple endlessly through their lives, a solemn, beautiful reminder. Every moment, every trembling emotion would ultimately guide them home, weaving them forever into the living memory of Thalara.